Malaki Branham came out of high school as a 4-star recruit and the 11th ranked small forward nationally. He committed to Ohio State in July of 2020 and did not waver from that commitment. Branham went on to have an incredibly productive freshman season for a Buckeyes team that would end up falling to Villanova in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Branham's contributions were recognized by Big Ten coaches, as he won Big Ten Rookie of the Year honors, was selected to the Big Ten All-Freshman team, and earned a selection to the All-Big Ten third team. Branham has officially entered the draft, but has also stated that he is open to returning to Ohio State if he is not drafted as highly as he would like to be. But as it stands currently, he will in all likelihood be a mid-first round pick. If that is the case, I imagine we will be seeing Branham in the NBA starting in the 2022-23 season. Branham's first strength is as a shooter. Branham is an efficient jump shooter from all levels of the floor. Short pull-ups in the lane, mid-range shots, and out beyond the three-point arc. There's not really an area defenders can force Branham into where he can't make a jump shot. Branham made 42% of his threes on this season, albeit on relatively low volume. He took just under 3 threes per game. In the NBA, he will likely be asked to shoot more willingly from the outside, so it will be interesting to see if he's able to keep his efficiency relatively high on greater volume. But Branham has such good touch on his jump shot that I find it difficult to believe he won't be able to figure it out. Branham does have a bit of an unorthodox looking shot. It almost looks like he's pushing the ball to the basket. But it is clearly working for him, and he doesn't have any issues getting his shot off under pressure, so no major concerns coming from me. Overall, I think Branham should be a nice addition as a shooter to an NBA team. The next strength for Branham is as a defender. Branham profiles as a wing defender at 6'5", but his strength coupled with his massive 6'11" wingspan makes him pretty versatile as a defender. He has the quickness to defend guards and wings out on the perimeter no problem, and he could give them problems with his length. He also has shown the ability to navigate through screens well and stay in plays in the pick and roll as a defender. I don't think he's quite big enough at this time to provide long-term defense against true NBA big men, but with his quickness and length he could at least slow them down a bit if he is switched onto them. Branham might not make any NBA all-defensive teams, but he looks like he will be a great team defender in the NBA and give coaches some versatility to work with. One last strength for Branham is scoring at the basket. Branham is a handful on the offensive end not only because he can kill you with his jumper, but he is also good at getting to the basket and finishing. Branham has an explosive first step while attacking the basket. Once he gets downhill on the perimeter, you're not getting back in front of him as a defender. Then once he gets to the basket, he has the strength and touch to finish. He isn't afraid to finish through contact, but has also shown good touch on floaters and layups around defenders. He's not necessarily the type of player that you can throw the ball to create a basket when the offense breaks down, but if he sees a lane to the basket, he can explode to the basket and get his team 2 points no problem. One weakness for Branham is that he can get tunnel vision to score at times. Branham has good touch on his shots, and sometimes even a contested look for him might be a better shot than it looks. But there are definitely times when Branham seems to decide he's putting up a shot regardless of what the defense does. He will put his head down driving to the basket and end up trying to finish in a crowd rather than making the kick out to an open teammate on the perimeter. Or he will get to one of his spots as a shooter and fire up a contested look rather than keeping the offense moving. In fairness, Branham does have some nice moments as a playmaker. The hope is that as he matures as a player, he continues to build on these and get some of the questionable shots out of his game. Another weakness for Branham is he seems to despise going left. To be clear, Branham has a pretty solid handle and is certainly capable of attacking to his left, but if there's any opportunity for him to get back to his right, he takes it. This can lead to Branham driving into crowded areas rather than navigating left into open space. There are even times where he will have an open look driving left and instead opt for a reverse layup. Smart NBA players and coaches will absolutely key in on this and load up to his right if they want to stop him as a scorer. He'll have to prove that he's willing and capable of scoring going left if he wants to be a dynamic scorer at the NBA level. This first clip shows off some of Branham's dynamic shooting ability. The play starts with a teammate missing a three. Branham darts in from the wing and tracks down the rebound. Branham takes one dribble to control himself, then quickly sets and fires up a mid-range jump shot. He makes the shot while being fouled as well. This clip shows how quickly Branham can get shot ready and how good his touch is on his shot from multiple levels of the floor, even under duress. This type of shot-making ability will be valuable to any NBA team. This next clip displays how Branham can impact the game as a defender. The play starts with Branham defending near the top of the arc. Rugder sets up a pick and roll and Branham goes over the screen as his man drives left. The Rutgers player then pulls up for a jump shot with Branham trailing just behind the play. Branham launches himself in front of the shot and uses his length to get a piece of the shot. Being able to affect the play as a defender after having a screen set on you in the pick and roll is an incredibly valuable asset to a defense. If Branham can continue to make plays like this consistently, he should be a great addition to any NBA defense. This final clip gives us a look at how Branham can get tunnel vision to score at times. The play starts with Branham taking the handoff out on the perimeter. Branham's teammate is unable to get much of a screen, and Branham's defender is able to stay in the play. Illinois also rushes the defender out of the post at Branham, while the screener's defender hangs out nearby. Branham spins away from the defender rushing out at him, but spins basically into a wall of two defenders and forces up a tough shot. In this situation, Branham should have probably kicked it out for a reset or waited for a teammate to cut. He essentially was being guarded by 3 defenders at one point, so that should signal to him that someone is open. As Branham matures as a player, he will hopefully learn to recognize this and build up his skill as a playmaker. Malaki Branham wasn't necessarily being looked at as a one-and-done player when he showed up at Ohio State, but after a productive and decorated freshman season, it seems that Branham will be making the jump to the NBA sooner than expected. Branham looks like the type of player that has the floor of a 3-and-D wing type player, but I think he has a higher ceiling than that because of his ability to handle the ball and score around the basket. While I think Branham can be more than just a guy that shoots threes and plays good defense, I don't see superstardom in his future. He can create his own shot a little bit, but not at the level that I could see him being a number 1 option. I think the most likely path for Branham is a starting level player in the NBA, a third scoring option that can make threes for you, contribute good defense, and put the ball on the floor if needed to get you a bucket. He should have a solid NBA career and be a nice addition to any team that drafts him. My NBA comp for Malaki Branham is Jaylen Brown. I don't think Branham has quite the scoring upside that Brown does, but both are wings with plenty of length that can score from all levels of the floor and play good defense, the type of player that almost any team would be happy to have on their roster.